I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety. And that's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling... This is Atosa's memory, but I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk. I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well know. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursed. Father told me that once I possessed all those but despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the Loom of Fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, the person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over. As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create an image. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world, as if... I know, why would I do something so... But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life and a peaceful... I was curious, so even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been... I know it sounds... After all, Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The Loom of Fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the prince. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet, creating in the face of everything they could be planning. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal... You remember my father, don't you? Clut, after he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form. To comfort me, my father told me a story. That story managed to dispel my fears. My goal was simple. To use the Loom of Fate to implant a specific memory into the mind. In that memory, I would tell them a story. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to it. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness. But now, the bedtime story?
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Even as a hilly churl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world. So ask yourself this. Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the heavenly principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleep. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. And Dane came by just now. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what Wait, really? Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well.
Bayram? You sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. It's just that, well, the village organized another search, so there we were, searching away. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later, and after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. Paimon wonders how Paimon didn't see her in the village just now. Hey, Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was part of the search. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. I'm just happy I got to meet him. Okay, I'll admit, I was dumb. Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't... It's just like Kari Bear said. And you know, if he... Anyway, thanks for...
Well, that should be it, right? Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what... A picture?